Good morning guys, welcome to Lost Phoenix Gaming, having a play through the festival playlist for the summer season of Series 26. Just completed the Rally Monsters and I'm going to have a look now at As Snug as a Buggy. This will get you the Regal Wave, which is not really much of a reward to be honest with you, but I'm just after seasonal completion at this point, so I'm going to have a run through it and see what happens. So I'll cut back to there. That's the Scooby I was using. I will find it in a minute. It is, I think it's up here. Yes, it's up here. It's up at Mortimer Gardens, Snug as a Buggy, A-Class Off-Road Buggies. What I'll do is while this is loading, I will put my tune up so you can see the tune that I've used for this Mini Cooper. And this will help you complete this challenge. Normally, I'll go to my house, show you the tune, and then go into the event. But because I've just finished an event, I'm going to just go straight into it. The car which I've chosen is this one. It's the John Cooper Works Buggy Mini A-Class. Pretty reasonable spec. I mean, having a look at some of the other stuff. It's Exocet, which is Car Pass, Nomad. The Class 10 Alumicraft. I mean that's 6 and 7. That's 6, 4 and 7. So that's a little bit slow on the acceleration, but I find the Alumicraft, because it's rear wheel drive, is all over the bloody place. But I'm going for the Mini. I'll drop the tune up here, and this will help you get this tuned up to the level I've got this at and give you a bit of a foot up when it comes to this championship. So you'll see this up on the screen, hit that share code in and you're good to go. So we've loaded up and Mortimer Gardens Scramble. For these, as usual, you need to be on highly skilled, otherwise you don't get the emote as it is in this case, but you want the completion because it counts towards more desirable cars. So I'll start on this one and let's see how you get on. A-Class, very slow. When you spend most of your time driving around in S1 class cars, it does take a little bit of getting used to when you drop down to something like an A-Class or a B-Class, because you expect the acceleration off the bat, but it just doesn't work like that. And going round, got bloody Mini. You're actually blocking me a little bit, but these are the driver tasks for you. But now making good progress. Try not to hit the lampposts if you can help it, because it does slow you down. And going round here, ooh, I've lost it a little bit there. Slow down, little turn, and hit the side. But this is a thing. These cross-country ones are quite iffy sometimes, because you end up racing against cars which don't skid, they don't bounce, and it's basically stupid, but you can still win against them. And I just need to concentrate a little bit more and get past these three at the front, because a 4th place finish is just not acceptable. There's no way getting a 4th place finish or even a 3rd place finish will actually let me win the championship. So I need to get ahead, get into 2nd as a minimum, which is why when you do this stuff, it says the champion, you have to win the championship. So it gives you the leeway to win 2 and place 2nd in the other one. But coming around here into 1st place, slight tap of a wall, but never mind. Any little clickies you hear, I'm going to try and filter these out with my software, but any clickies you hear, this will just be my controller buttons going, because I am actually recording this live. I'm recording the audio as I'm actually playing the game, rather than in post-production like I've done with a lot of my other videos. But 3rd lap, 1st place, hitting the walls. This is completely messy. This is not a very good technical drive, but it doesn't really matter. You don't do this stuff to look good. You don't do this stuff to really prove that you're actually good at this stuff. You do it to win and to unlock the championship reward. And first place, going over here, foot off a little bit, and come up to a corner. It always goes a bit bouncy there, which you could expect with buggies in a way, but the other buggers back there never seem to bounce too much. So, little brake, little skid, drift a little bit. I've got a skill point, and finish line up there. Jobs are good. First place finish, 20 points there. The Lumicraft second, the Can-Am Maverick, which is basically a pay-to-win car. It's a car pass car, and that is basically a pay-to-win. It's all-wheel drive as standard, unlike anything else, and you can tune it a lot higher. But I try not to use it because, one, I've tuned it up higher in this class, and secondly, I don't really like using cars which you have to spend real money on, because you do have your VIP cars, you do have your car pass cars, you do have your welcome pack. I don't have VIP, but I do have welcome pack, I do have car pass. And these white ones up here, these show that these are the other races in the championship, and you'll need to complete these in order to win. You can't just do one and say that's it, or do one race 3 times. You have to do all 3 individual ones on the highly skilled setting in order to complete the championship. Glenrannoch Trail, brilliant. If you're looking for the photo location, by the way, I'll show you where this is for this week. It's right next to that barn find, right there. So that's where you go if you want to unlock that challenge and actually complete that challenge. But I'm going to go in and do this one. It's the trail event, so at least I'm not doing laps. And it's just loading in on this one. The mini buggy. This isn't a mini. I'm sorry, this is not a mini, but this really is not a mini buggy, but you know. And let's make a start. Pulling off the line. Yep, radio's off. That's good, because there's a big problem in Forza with copyright music and the fact you can't really properly turn it off. But little bounce there through the checkpoint, and keep going. I'm in 5th. There's a lot of little clicky fine movements on this one, so that's what the sound is if you actually hear that. And brake, little skid, cross there. Take the corner quite sharply, because you want to sort of be somewhere near the front on that bridge, because at this point the trail gets really sort of narrow. And oh, I'm losing it. It's not good. It's not good. Not good. Come on. And you'll see that you've got the Can-Am Maverick in first place, which is definitely a pay-to-win car. And I have used it before I started recording videos on this stuff, and it is actually pay-to-win, but I just refuse to use anything or recommend anything to you guys which requires you to actually hand over real money, because a lot of stuff I use can be picked up either on the auto show or pretty cheaply on the auction house. Okay, a little knock there, get ahead, and round that way, going up the top, checkpoint up here, and turn. Brilliant. First place, 50%. And spin. And back down the mountain. Why not? You can pick up a fair bit of speed down here, but there is a slightly dodgy corner as you get towards the bottom, which you need to be careful of. You know, this is actually a brilliant little sort of drift trail. This is, if you're going to do some off-road drifting, you could drift down here very nicely. Oh, and I've messed it up. I've spun it, which is what can happen. It's just a case of getting in front of this. Can happen now. So I'm being a bit dodgy, ramming them. Just pretend I'm on ranked mode, I guess. But into first place still, coming round into the village. Yep, and you're creeping past me. I'm not having that. Not at this stage in the game. I'm definitely not having that stuff off you. You can bugger right off. And I can see the finish line there. It's just a case of trying to stay ahead of these guys, I guess. Can-Am's coming up at a fair speed, but I'm through the line. First place. Jobs are good, and so that's another 20 points on top of my other 20. Gives me 40, so I'm still in first place. On this next one, I need to either win it or I need to get second place. Otherwise, I'm stuffed. We've noticed you've been using Bossy Designs as design one a few times. Liking a design can boost its rating. Do you like it? Yes. Bossy Designs is one of the big designers, and they do make a lot of quite cool stuff, including this one, which is like the Union Jack. And I've got that on a couple of my minis, so they do the Union Jack for the British cars for the minis, and this is actually quite cool. And before anyone says, yes, I am aware it's called the Union Flag, not the Union Jack, but I'm not going to get into semantics on that one, because I think if you say Union Flag, people start think you're talking about the Confederacy, but I'm definitely not getting to that can of worms. But Greendale Foothill Scramble, this is the final one, and I'm going to go for the Mini again. Why not? Just because it's fun, and I haven't bothered tuning up anything else which is eligible for this event. So get this loaded in. I can get through it, get this Regal Wave, and that's all of the championships out of the way. All I've got then is the Forza and the trial event. So final one. Let's go. That's the thing on this. You pull away and it just feels really bloody slow. But when you look down, you're doing like 60 miles an hour. You're just going, yeah, true, Matt. And if you were to go from 0 to 60 that quickly in your family saloon, you definitely go, that's quick. But because you're on a racing game, because you're used to driving stuff which can top well over 200 miles an hour, you're sort of going, oh, that isn't that quick. But if it were real world, it would be. But fourth place, goodbye. Got the 3 here. Yes, clipped it. Which is what you can do with some of these flags. You don't need to take a full corner a lot of the time. You can just clip it, and it will count, which is actually quite good. Although the flag system on Forza can be a bit hit and miss, because you can go straight through the middle of 2 flags, and it'll go, you've missed a checkpoint. But you can miss one of the flags by about an inch, and it'll count. So it is a bit dodgy. Bloody Can-Am running into the side of me. And that's what you'll find on this. You do get the drive-type cars are actually very dirty drivers. Like, they haven't even spun, man. I knocked them, they tilted a little bit, but it wasn't really a lot. So it's just going to case of just get past these guys again. But at least it's disrupted the top of the race a bit, because the people who were getting like second and third and stuff normally are not now, because they've been knocked back a little bit. Whether they'll catch up a bit later on, which is most likely, because that's usually what happens. But it does give you a little bit of extra breathing space when that happens, because it means you're not just competing against those sort of top 2 people. But going round, the vibrations going crazy on my Xbox controller. You may or may not be able to hear it on the mic, but I will try and filter out some of the low frequency stuff before I publish this, but we'll see. But going round, ooh, hit him sides, come on, come on, come on, let's go. And sometimes when you're doing this, there's certain words you use about driver tars and stuff like this, which I won't use because I'm trying to keep my channel fairly general audience. I'll get a few swear words out here and there, you know, but nothing major, sort of none of a George Carlin level obscenity, so you're pretty safe with a lot of my videos, as long as you don't object to words like bugger and shit and things like this. But those are your typical Britishisms, which I remember I posted something on Twitter, and it was actually about Fortnite, and it was around the sort of a party royale mode they had where you could actually sit and watch a Christopher Nolan movie. And I went in, had a quick look beforehand, and you stand in it, you can see this little screen, and there's just people messing about in front of you and jumping around, just basically blocking the view. It's like literally the worst cinema experience like you've ever had in your life. And I posted a sort of picture up on Twitter of it and just going, you know, points of effort, but why would you want to watch a movie like this with people pissing about in front of you? And I actually got, I think it was an American, because obviously America and the UK have sort of different slang terms, different words for different things and different ways of expressing things. And I think the phrase pissing about is definitely an English one. I don't think the Americans really sort of have that in their vocabulary. They have different words. And I actually thought it was quite funny that I said there's people pissing about in front of me, which is something which is like an everyday sort of phrase over here. But up to the corner, I was going to say up to the line then, but it's not quite yet. Up to the corner and hitting it. But at least I managed to recover. This is quite possibly one of the worst exhibition driving things I've done in my life, although you're yet to see me on the trial. There's a reason why some of my trial videos, when I do post them, are called dodgy driving at the trials, because it usually is. But I can see the line up there on my little mini map, so not that far away, and coming round and through the line. First place finish. What was in second? The Illumicraft and over Can-Am Maverick in third place. So yeah, we did catch up a little bit. For the championships, again, 60 points on that gets me the win. Lieutenant Kelly Kipps, Can-Am Maverick, which is sort of funny because you get this stuff and it's always the same people, but I've got the championship completed, the third place, the second place, and the first. So they're done, which means that I get the Regal Wave emote. I know it's not really something to get really excited about, is it? But it's all to do with completing the championships and getting your seasonal percentage completions. And I'll skip through this stuff here and go back in, and I'll just have a look at my playlist, because it's something which somebody's asked me on a comment. I have got another video coming up with a sort of guide to the playlist, but I'm waiting on making some other content first to feed into that. So I'll explain this stuff to people who are new to the game. You do have a playlist. You've got your series playlist, which gives you 2 cars for 50 and 80, and that's your score across summer, autumn, winter and spring. You'll see I've actually been really good this time. I've actually not jumped ahead on anything, and it is because I want to record stuff like this. But you've got your seasonal completion, 50% for the Rimac, 80% for the Apollo. Photo challenge, you've got a Forza from event, which gives you a few different things. You've got dailies, you've got an online co-op trial. We have to race with 5 other people against unbeatable driver tars. You've got a showcase remix, you've got a games event which you don't have to win, just take part of, 3 PR stunts, which is a jump, a speed camera and a speed zone, and you've got these 3 championships, and you've just seen me do the Buggy championship. I've done the other 2. That's A versus, which is just one lap. You've got to go around, not hit anything, and beat your rival, which is normally not too much of an issue. And then there's the online adventure. It's when you qualify. You just go on and just race against other real players, and it's an absolutely abomination of a mode, but it's a very good way of getting yourself about 18% auto completion on all series. Same with the monthly rivals. If you cut to autumn, I've already got 21% done, and that's not because I've done anything in autumn. I haven't jumped ahead. I've done nothing. It's just these two, and these carry across all 4 seasons. And I've done those in summer, and they've counted. So that's already given me a step up for the other seasons. But that's basically how the playlist works. And hopefully you like sort of my new way of doing this stuff, because it does cut down my time a bit. And I think it's a bit more fun than just putting vanilla race footage up with sort of no context or anything like that. And if you guys have got any questions about anything, right, give me a shout, leave me a comment on my videos and stuff. And when I record this stuff every week, I'll actually do my best to answer your questions, because this is sort of what I want to do. I want to do sort of like almost like a catch-up streaming experience without having to cook my computer and try and stream a thing. But it's one of those. I want to get a bit more interaction, a bit of community stuff, because I've had a few issues recently with porn bots in my comments. Loads of YouTubers have had them. It's quite big. I did get a couple. I just manually deleted them, whatever. But now I've got hundreds of them coming in on every video. So that's why I've got to hold all comments for review. And I do check this stuff on my phone. And when I see it, I'll approve it and reply to it as needed. So if you guys have got any questions, if you've got anything you want to ask me about the game or how to do certain stuff, and if I can answer it, I will do. I'll tell you, and I'll do it either on one of these streams, or I may even... Actually, I've decided what I'm going to do is actually do a sort of like a mailbag sort of show, if you guys want me to. If you want me to answer questions, you ask me stuff. I mean, I'll always reply in my comments to you directly, so you're not waiting around for me, but I'll always reply. But if enough of you want me to do this stuff, what I will do is I'll answer your questions, and I'll just go in and I'll just make a video answering your questions. You know, stuff about the game, stuff about tuning. Don't ask me about sort of time travel and stuff like that, because even though I sort of do it to get the car restriction information and stuff like that, I'm not going to start telling you to do this stuff, because there is potential to get banned on that. But if there's anything you want me to help you with, I can help you with, by all means ask, and I'll put a video together doing that. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching, take it easy, and happy driving.